back to the channel and welcome to Chesterton Windmill. I've been wanting to come here for ages, and it's obviously in Warwickshire, quite far down from Lincolnshire really, but I've been working on the south coast this week, and I'm just heading back now. It's Thursday, just heading back home and had a few hours spare, and I think, fingers crossed, there might be a nice sunset. So I just had to pop in, veer off left down the M40 and have a go. But what a fantastic place to be. On top of a hill, obviously great for a windmill. I think it's got 1632 on it, so a few hundred years old. But yeah, when I was travelling up from the south coast, it was quite thick cloud cover, and I thought, I'll go and give it a go. But as I've drove up and arrived here, the cloud has broke a bit, so fingers crossed we might get a nice bit of light. I just tried it on the 70 to 200, but too close. So I'm switching to the 17 to 35, and what I'm hoping for first, before I get composed for a sunset, because I want to be a bit further round for a sunset for the west, I'm hoping that there's going to be a nice bit of light cast on the side of the windmill in the next 10-20 minutes once this big cloud cover moves out the way, and hopefully I'm going to compose it with the windmill just to the right of a frame in the third, with a nice bit of light coming on, fingers crossed. So I'll get composed up and wait for a bit of light. Really lucky. I'm on my own here at the moment. Another car has just arrived, but it's nice and quiet. Now, because of all these lovely wispy clouds, I'm going to pop the 10 stop on and see if I can get a bit of movement in the clouds. And I'll just pop the ring on. K&F Concept magnetic filter kit. So I'm just going to pop the 10 stop on, just to slow everything down, try and get a bit of movement in them clouds. Wow. Hopefully you can see that. Lovely bit of light now. Absolutely super. Just on a 30-second exposure with that light. Still a little bit dark. A little bit underexposed on the windmill, so it's going to be really difficult to do any sort of multiple exposures and overlay them. I might have a go, but we'll see. All the gaps in them sails could prove a little bit difficult, but I might give it a go. And there goes the light, look, but hopefully I've captured that on the long exposure. I'm going to give it 40 seconds and we'll see how we get on. So I've just set up the Wi-Fi on the Canon camera app so that I can control the shutter remotely, just to save any shake. So I'm at f16, I've got the 5D set into bulb so that I'm in total control of the exposure time. And I think we're going to get some lovely light in a minute, but I'm just going to try a long exposure. I've focused manually on the back of the screen, on the touch screen, and on the live screen, sorry. And let's go for a 1 minute 20. So we're off. but I think we're going to get some fantastic light soon, and it might last for quite some time. There's one big band of cloud, and then once the sun goes a bit lower, we should be in for a nice evening, he says. Fingers crossed. Well, that sun has finally come out, and I think we've got some lovely light now for a good 10-20 minutes, I should think. There is another big blodge of cloud making its way over the horizon, but I think we'll be all right. So I'm just filling my boots at the minute. Well, I've just moved around a bit to get a bit more of the light on the windmill, but unfortunately I think the earthing strap, the earthing lead that obviously is buried in the ground to stop any lightning strikes, it's glowing bright white with the reflection. It's obviously got a bit of tin covering the bottom half of it so that no one catches themselves on it. And I might try and clone it out, but it's nice that there's a lot more light on the windmill, but that earth strap definitely does stick out a mile. But see what I can do in post. As you can see, I ended up leaving the earth cable on the windmill in the end. I did have a quick go at cloning it out brick by brick, but I could tell quite clearly that I'd cloned, and perhaps a fresh pair of eyes might not known that I'd cloned out the cable, but I wasn't overly happy with it, so ended up leaving it. But you might call me a bit lazy, but let me know what you think, whether you think I should have made the effort and cloned it out, or whether you agree with me that it is part of the overall subject and it's best to leave it in. I think sometimes images with annoying objects in or whatever can be over edited and pulled about and cloned, and I often think it's best just to leave the subject as it is. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. Well, I've just been flying about all over the place trying to work out some compositions. Unfortunately, there's quite a lot of people turned up, which is going to be obviously for a beautiful sunset, and I can't blame them. We've all got to share these places, so there might be a little bit of cloning. Bandit's getting excited because there's too many people about all of a sudden. But yeah, there must be a dozen or so descended on top of me, but might be a bit of cloning. But that sun's setting really quick, so I'm going to stop videoing and try and get some frames. So I know you can't see me, I'm a silhouette. Let's just take that off. But it's still quite dark. I've just got really nice and low, and I've gone to f22. There's a little bit of perspective warp that I'm going to have to correct in Photoshop in post, but I've got a lovely sun star in between the windmill legs, so I'll pop that up now. Sun's going down really quickly now. It's just about to touch the horizon, so I've put the 10 stop back on. I'm just going for one more long exposure, see if I can get some movement in these clouds just to make a real nice moody frame. I'm going for about 2-minute exposure just to get loads of movement and hopefully enough light off the sun just to expose the windmill nice enough. Bit of a silhouette, but a bit of light on the side of the legs hopefully. I'll pop it up now. that sun's setting really quickly now. It's about halfway over the horizon, losing light rapidly. I'm going for a 3-minute exposure just to try and get lots of movement in the cloud. One last moody frame before I lose all the light. It is making a lovely silhouette and there's some lovely colour on the horizon obviously as the sun sets, but yeah, I think this is going to be a nice one just to finish off the video. I'll pop it up now, guys. It's actually been a lovely evening. There's quite a lot of folk here, but everyone's keeping nice and quiet, and just watching that sunset was absolutely beautiful, even though there's probably 24 people here, but all just experiencing the sunset. It was absolutely beautiful. But what a great way to finish off what's been quite a busy day. I've been working on the south coast, so finished off the project today, so heading home, had to pop in here and just give it a go, and it's all come up trumps. What a lovely evening. So anyway, I think there's 1 or 2 other frames that I took. I've been dashing about getting all sorts of compositions, so I'll pop a few more frames up at the end of the video, guys. Thanks ever so much for watching. If you could remember to give it a like, that'd be much appreciated, and do subscribe if you haven't yet for more of the same content. And yeah, brilliant. Have a great week, guys. Thanks ever so much for watching. Take care. Catch up soon.